And Speaker Mike Johnson joins us now live from Capitol Hill. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Great to have you with us today.
Hey, Martha, great to be with you.
So tell me, I want to start with the spending issue that you're dealing with, because I know you have a lot of very agitated members on the right-hand side of your party, and that you just had a meeting with some of them. Congressman Roy, who was here with us yesterday, I know he's a good friend of yours, but he doesn't like this deal, and also Norman and others. What can you tell us about what you discussed in there and whether or not this is going to survive after this rule was voted down today?
Yeah, it's going to survive. Look, what I've told Ralph, Norman, and Chip Roy, who are my close friends, I'm also a conservative hardliner. That's been my entire career in Congress and all of my years as a legislator, cutting spending. This is a big priority for us, the Republican Party. What we negotiated in this top-line agreement for the appropriations going forward is an innovation. We're trying to get back to 12 appropriations bills instead of ruling and governing by omnibus spending bills. We've done that. We achieved that at the end of last year, and now we have to get into the individual spending bills. So what we did was we negotiated a cut from some of the side deals that were previously determined. So we're adding another $16 billion in cuts. We're taking $10 billion out of the IRS slush fund, another $6.1 out of the COVID slush funds. These are big priorities for the Democrats. We've added that in, so we've improved it. And what we're doing now, Martha, is putting ourselves in a position to go argue for our priorities, our riders on the spending bills. That's an important thing. You know, Chips and Ralph and others are frustrated it doesn't go far enough. I'm frustrated too. But remember, we have a 2-vote margin and only one chamber, only in the House is where we have the majority. And so we have to work with the numbers we have and get the best we can. And I'm telling these guys, and I'll tell the American people, we're going to work every single day to get the best possible outcome.
Well, you're in a very tough spot. And as you point out, you have a very narrow majority right now. I want to just play for folks what Congressman Roy said about this deal a short time ago. Watch this.
I'm not going to rule out any of the options on the table as long as we're doing stupid things. Speaker Johnson is doing all the same stupid crap that we opposed. And now he's, honoring these side deals that we shouldn't have honored, that we were pushing Kevin on. We were trying to kind of tighten. And I think that's a mistake.
So do you regret signing that deal with Schumer for the fiscal appropriations for 2024? Any regrets about it?
Well, no, I regret that we have one of the smallest majorities in the history of the United States Congress. We have to govern, and that's what we're doing. What we achieved out of this, Martha, is the first cut in non-VA, non-defense spending in over 10 years. I mean, it's not a Hail Mary pass that I'd like to throw to win the game. This is, as we used to say in football, this is yard by yard, inch by inch, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We have to play and advance the ball incrementally up the field, and that's what this is. I wish it was a Hail Mary play time, but it's not. And so we're going to move this forward. We are in position now to fight for our priorities and the riders on these expense bills, and we're going to do well by the American people. And there's a lot of important issues on the plate right now. We got to keep the Republican majority together, and I'm confident we're going to be able to do that because the stakes are very high for the country, and everybody knows that.
Understood, sir. There is talk, and I should have set up that soundbite from Congressman Roy by saying that the question was, would he rule out a motion to vacate you as Speaker? And his answer was, I'm not ruling anything out. And we've heard from other members who said, that they think it was the worst vote they ever took. So I'm sure you have a little, sort of sympathy for Kevin McCarthy's position right now because he was in a similar spot. But do you think that's real? Do you think there's going to be any effort to vacate you?
No, listen, there's a lot of emotion here right now because there's a lot of important emotional issues on the table for the country. But what we have to do is be the adults in the room and govern. And I think the vast majority of the Republican conference is there. And I think Chip is there as well. Again, he and I don't disagree on principles. He's a good friend. I don't think I'm in any jeopardy of being vacated. It's not something I walk around and think about. What I'm thinking about is governing and trying to do well by the people. And we're going to do that. We're going to demonstrate that we can govern well. I think we're going to be in a very different situation a year from now. Next January, I think we will grow and expand this majority in the House. I think we'll have the Republican majority back in the Senate. And I'm convinced we're going to win the White House as well. And so it'll be a much easier ride then. We got to get through this valley.
All right. I can't let you go without asking you about your phone call with President Biden. Did you get a sense? Obviously, it's confidential, a phone call between a Speaker of the House and the President of the United States. But in broad sense, is he moving on this issue? Do you see him starting to want to do some executive orders that might change things at the border?
Well, I did talk with him about that, and I've been public about it. I sent it to him in writing in a letter back in December, or right before Christmas, asking him, urging him to take the executive orders and executive authority he has to address this issue. We're working on legislative fixes, but he has authority under existing law, and I reiterated that again today. I do believe that he understands the magnitude of the crisis, or he's beginning to, and I'm hopeful that all of us will be able to work together to solve this dilemma. It's a catastrophe. That's the right word.
So did he indicate any openness to those executive actions, to taking them?
I don't think I'm at liberty to say exactly what we discussed, but I'll tell you that I've been advancing that. I've expressed to him the urgency. I told him what we saw on the border just last week with 64 House Republicans. It is heartbreaking and infuriating what's happening there. The American people are demanding action, and we're going to deliver it.
Okay. Speaker Johnson, thank you very much. It's good to talk to you, sir, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Martha. You got it.